All right, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Judge Corey Amanda Cotham. We're here for the afternoon session of First Appearance Court. As a reminder to everyone, everything that we say here is being recorded and can be used against you at a later date. And so I do encourage you to speak to your attorneys before speaking on the record this afternoon. I do have one case that was reset from this morning, which we have an interpreter present for. But before I do go to that case, is there anyone at Maine that needs to be called out of turn?
Not right now, Judge. Thank you.
All right. So the one case that we have our interpreter present for is on Masood Yarizoleh.
No problem.
All right. Thank you. And for my interpreter, will you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to interpret from Persian to English and English to Persian to the best of your ability?
I do.
Thank you. And will you please state your name for the record?
Sarah Smith.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Smith. Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Yarizoleh.
سلام. بعد از اونتون بخیر آقای یاریزالا.
همچنین.
You are before the court this afternoon on 2 charges.
شما 2 تا چارج دارین در امروز بعد از ظهر در دادگاه.
Count 1 is trespassing on property, not a structure or conveyance.
اولینش به خاطر عبور از جایی هست که اجازهشو نداشتین.
Count 2 is a municipal ordinance violation for lodging in public.
شماره 2 به خاطر خوردن مشروبات الکلی در جایی که اجازه نداشتین.
I find probable cause.
به خاطر همین
مشروبات الکلی من یادم نمیاد کجا و کی و کجاشو میتونی به من بگی؟
I do not recall that I was drinking anywhere. Can you please tell me where?
Sir, tell him not to talk about the facts of the case.
خواهش میکنم شما صحبت نکنین تا وقتی که وکیلتون و دادگاه صحبت کنن.
Mr. Yarizoleh, you have 2 attorneys present in the courtroom with me that are representing you today.
2 تا از وکلا که در اینجا هستن نماینده شما هستن در این دادگاه.
And we are only here to talk about bond and release conditions today.
ما فقط میخوایم با شما صحبت کنیم در مورد اینکه بتونیم یک ودیعه بذاریم و شما رو از دادگاه از زندان بیرون بیاریم.
So I don't want you to say anything about the facts of the case.
پس ممنون میشم که راجبه که این اصلا صحبتی نکنید.
Just listen for a few minutes while I speak to your attorneys.
فقط گوش بدین به حرفایی که من با وکیل شما میزنم.
Mr. Miller and Mr. Plant, we'll go to you.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Linder said we could. I believe Mr. Linder is going to make an offer of withholding court costs. Is that right? Or are we going to?
Your Honor, I apologize. Is Mr. Yarizola looking to resolve the matter?
Mr. Yarizoleh, would you like to resolve this case today if you are able?
آقای یاریزالا شما میخواین که این کیس رو امروز راجبش صحبت کنن؟
کدام کیس؟ من اصلا نمیدونم کجا هستم، دارم چی کار میکنم. من مشکلات زیادی دارم. شما همون چسبیدین به نمیدونم کجا مشروب خوردم. این مسائل برای من اصلا مهم نیست. مهم سلامتی منه. 6 سال تو آمریکا هیچ کس جوابگوی من نیست. هر ایالتی میرم پلیس میگه
Okay, Mr. Yarizoleh, stop. Let the interpreter tell me what you're saying. One moment.
I do not recall where I am and I do not recall why I am here. I do not know anything about anything. So I don't even understand that you're trying to get my case. I don't even know what is the case or where I am standing right now.
So based on these circumstances, I'm going to say to the attorneys, I'm not comfortable with playing out this case today.
به دلیل اینکه شما این مشکلات رو دارین امروز دادگاه بر مورد اون کیس های شما صحبتی نخواهد کرد.
Mr. Yarizoleh has a $25 bond.
شما $25 برای ودیعه گذاشتین.
I would inquire as to whether any of you have any objection to me transferring the case to Judge Lerner Wren's division.
این دادگاه تقاضا میکنه که کیس شما رو به قاضی دیگه بفرستن.
caution.
شما هیچی نمیتونی بگی. صبر کن وکلاتون صحبت کن.
Yes, Your Honor, the defense concurs.
I'm good with that.
All right. So, Mr. Yarizole, you will have a $25 bond.
فقط باید $25 بذارین برای ودیعه.
You can post that.
ندارم هیچ پولی اینجا ندارم پلیس همه پولامو گرفته
I don't have any money at all. I don't have any money with me at all. Somebody took all my money.
Okay,
Yeah,
you
they
will,
said they holding my money.
Okay. Your Honor,
Yes.
as far as I know, the money that was found on him at the time of his arrest is not evidence in any case, in any pending matter. Is that your understanding? The money that was found on him at the time of his arrest, that's not evidence of anything, is it?
مقدار زیادی پول همراه شما بوده ولی این پول ها متعلق به خودتون هست.
متعلق به منه ولی اینجا هیچ پولی ندارم
شما فقط گوش بدین. من فقط باید برای شما ترجمه کنم. شما سوالی از شما نکردن. من فقط به شما اطلاع میدم. Okay.
So, can I ask him a couple of questions, Judge?
go ahead.
حالا از شما سوال میکنیم.
Are you going to bond yourself out?
آیا میخواین شما که ودیعه بذارین خودتون رو بیارین بیرون از زندان؟
خیر
No.
Okay. Do you have a place to live once you are released?
شما جایی دارین که زندگی کنین از اینجا که آمدین بیرون؟
نه اینجا بهترین جا واسه من هم اینجاست
No, this is the best place for me to stay in jail.
Okay, you're going to see the judge probably in a few days, and you'll be able to speak to an attorney and try to sort some of these things out.
شما تا چند روز دیگه یک قاضی دیگه کیس شما رو به عهده میگیره و میتونیم با وکیل جدیدتون تمام اینها رو بگید.
But for the time being, your bond is $25. If you're able to bond out or decide that you want to bond out, it's just $25.
اگر
Okay?
که تصمیم گرفتی که از زندان بیای بیرون فقط $25 ودیعه بذارین میتونیم بیای بیرون.
کی آخه من الان دسترسی به پول ندارم از کجا بیارم
I don't have any hold on my own belonging and money. How can I do that?
Mr. Yarizole, there was money that was on you at the time you were arrested.
وقتی که شما رو دستگیر کرده بودن مقدار زیادی پول همراه شما بوده.
As far as I am aware, that money should be in your personal property at the jail.
این متعلق به شما هست و در زندان برای شما کنار گذاشتن با اساسیه دیگه که ازتون گرفتن.
So if you wish to post your bond, you can use that.
اگر دلتون خواست که از اون $25 بردارین ودیعه بذارین دست خودتون
And
هستش.
if not, you'll be seeing your judge and your attorneys in a few days.
اگر نه همونجا بمونین تا چند روز دیگه قاضی جدیدتون رو خواهید دید.
Good luck to you, sir.
موفق باشید.
ممنون تشکر
موفق باشید.
Thank you. Okay. Ms. Smith, thank you very much.
So I'll try and help him myself.
Okay. All right. Okay.
She's also mental health. No, not him.
All right, so I have a couple of other cases that are MOs. We can address some. Mr. Plantis here.
Thank you,
Judge,
Judge, yes.
before we close the book, can I
Yes.
get a psych screen for him?
That's fine.
Thanks, Mayor Approach.
Yes, come on. Ms. Smith, thank you for being here.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for waiting.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right, so my next case is Philniqua Marriott on page 1.
I think that she bonded out.
Did she bond?
Mr. Linder said she bonded.
Marriott? Okay, she
Yes.
bonded. All right. Okay, next will be Burkendi Theodorus on page 8.
I think may have also bonded out.
Bonded?
I don't, we discussed it and Bond has posted. I don't know if he's gone yet.
Okay. All right, and then, Mr. Plant, I have one other case for you on the hearing docket we can go ahead and do. That is Mr. Vernon Coleman on page 2 of the hearing docket.
Yes,
Which facility is Mr. Coleman at? Maine, okay.
May.
Thank you. All right, good afternoon, Mr. Coleman.
Hello.
All right, Mr. Coleman, you're here on a second look today. I see you have a $25 bond, and Mr. Plant, your attorney, is with me in the courtroom. Mr. Plant, what do you want to tell me?
Judge, I have nothing to add.
The city still doesn't have a plea offer for him?
It's nothing we want to take today. It's 60 days.
Okay.
So he's better off going in front of his judge. Sir, just don't leave. We're not done, sir.
I'm gonna take no 60 days.
All right, so that's all right, Mr. Coleman. So Mr. Plant is telling me, since that's the only offer, he is recommending that you don't accept it, so you'll be going in front of your division judge soon so that they can address that matter, okay?
I just did this yesterday. Why am I back today?
Because that was a couple days ago, Mr. Vernon, so we have it every few days. If you don't bond out, then I bring you in so that we can see what's going on with the case and re-review it, all right?
And then your bond is started going up. It's not coming down.
No, you have the same bond, sir. The bond is not going up. You could post your bond,
it's
but
What was
25.
the bond
Yeah,
originally
$25.
$25?
I'm sorry?
The bond was originally $25. Now what the bond is now?
It's 25. I'm not changing it because the city doesn't have a plea offer, so I'm not going to increase it. I'm going to leave it at $25, okay?
Hey, don't play with me.
All right.
I said you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Coleman.
thank you, Judge. Thank you, Mr. Coleman.
All
I
right.
think that's it.
Mr. Plant, thank you.
This way,
Have a good weekend. All right. All right, I see I have my Spanish interpreter here. Do we have a list for Spanish cases? All right, Mr. Romero, you have anybody at Maine?
Two gentlemen, Judge.
All right, who do you have?
First person on page 6, Paniagua, Mr. Fernando Paniagua.
Okay.
And the second individual is, who's the second person on it? Okan Gonzalez on page 4, Judge.
Gonzalez on page 4.
Correct.
All right, and for my interpreter, will you
Yes.
please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to interpret from Spanish to English and English to Spanish to the best of your ability?
Yes, I swear.
Thank you. And will you please state your name for the record?
Yes, Sandra Bryan.
All right, thank you, Ms. Bryan. All right, good afternoon, Mr. Okan Gonzalez.
Buenas tardes, señor Ocon González.
Buenas tardes.
Good afternoon.
You are before the court this afternoon on one charge
Usted está delante del tribunal esta tarde con un cargo
of DUI, alcohol, or drugs.
de manejo bajo los efectos de alcohol o drogas.
I find probable cause,
Encuentro que ha habido causa probable.
and I'll hear from the parties.
Escucharé de las partes.
Judge, after speaking to Mr. Okan Gonzalez, he's not in a position to post this monetary bond.
Después de haber hablado con el señor Ocon González, él no está en una posición de pagar esta fianza.
He lives here locally with his father, Judge,
Él vive
and
aquí.
also he is working.
Él vive aquí con su padre local y vive con aquí local con su padre y está trabajando.
He works at a company called JJ's Tires, where he's been employed there for the past 5 years. It's on Pembroke Road.
Él ha trabajado para la compañía JJ Tire aquí en Pembroke Road hace como 5 años.
Now, he did tell me he has prior contacts with the criminal justice system, but nothing recent. It's been about 3 years now.
Él ha tenido contactos, me contó, con el sistema judicial, pero nada recientemente.
Now, unfortunately, he did tell me he has no phone numbers memorized. The only person that could potentially post his monetary bond would be his boss who works at JJ's Tires.
Lamentablemente, él no se recuerda, no conoce a los números de teléfono de memoria y la única persona que podría prestar la fianza es su jefe de JJ Tires.
So, Judge, considering this is non-violent offense, I'm asking if the court would consider releasing Mr. Okan Gonzalez today on pretrial release.
Y ya como usted ve, su señoría, esto no es una ofensa violenta, pido que lo dejaran salir en libertad con los servicios previos a juicio, con esa supervisión.
With random testing, no objection.
No tenemos ninguna protesta.
All right. Mr. Gonzalez.
Ok, señor González,
I am going to release you to pretrial supervision.
le voy a conceder su libertad con la supervisión de los servicios previos a juicio.
Please understand you will be subjected to random drug and alcohol testing.
Por favor, comprenda que usted será sujeto a las pruebas de drogas y al alcohol sin avisarle, o sea, al azar.
That means no alcohol and no intoxicants until further order of the court.
Eso quiere decir que usted no puede ingerir ni alcohol ni intoxicantes hasta que se vuelva a ordenar del tribunal.
Do you understand that?
¿Comprende eso, señor?
Yes, sí.
Yes.
All right. Additionally,
Además,
please understand
por favor, comprenda
that though you are going to be released today,
que aunque le van a dejar salir hoy,
today is Friday,
ya hoy es viernes,
you must report to pretrial supervision in person on Monday.
tendrá que reportarse a los servicios previos a juicio el lunes.
If you fail to report to them as I've instructed you,
Si usted falla en reportarse de la manera que yo se lo he instruido,
a warrant will be issued for your arrest.
se va a emitir una orden para su arresto.
Do you understand that?
¿Comprende eso?
Yes. Sí.
Yes.
All right. Mr. Romero is going to give you a piece of paper with information on where you need to go.
El señor Romero le va a dar un papel que dice las instrucciones y dónde tiene que ir.
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Buena suerte, señor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Panagua.
Buenas tardes, señor Paniagua.
Buenas tardes.
Good afternoon.
You are before the court this afternoon on 5 charges.
Usted está delante del tribunal esta tarde con 5 cargos.
Count 1, burglary of an occupied dwelling, unarmed.
Cargo 1 es escalamiento de una vivienda ocupada sin estar armado
During a state of emergency.
durante un estado de emergencia.
Count 2, resisting an officer or obstructing without violence.
Y el cargo 2 es resistir a un oficial o obstruir sin violencia.
Judge, I have an argument.
Yo tengo un argumento, su señoría.
Count 3 is a misdemeanor capias for petty theft.
Y el cargo 3 es un delito menor con la orden de captura para hurto menor.
Count 4 is robbery by sudden snatching without a firearm or weapon.
Y el cargo número 4 es un robo por arrebatos sin tener armas de fuego o armas.
Count 5 is burglary of an occupied dwelling unarmed.
Y el cargo 5 es escalamiento de una vivienda o una estructura ocupada sin estar armado.
And Mr. Miller, I will hear your argument at this time.
El
Yes,
argumento.
Judge. And I didn't mean to interrupt, but I didn't want you to go beyond that.
Disculpe, no quise interrumpir.
So, he's charged under 810.02,
A él se le acusa bajo
under subsection
810.
F, which is the emergency statute,
Punto 2,
or,
subsección F,
emergency aggravator,
que tiene que ver con
requires
ser
that,
agravante
and I'm gonna
durante
read
emergencia.
the statute, conditions arising
Las
from the emergency, the
condiciones que
burglary,
surjan de la emergencia y el
I'm sorry.
escalamiento, perdón.
after the declaration of emergency is
Después que
made,
se haya declarado una emergencia
and the perpetration of the burglary is
y
facilitated
que
by
se
conditions
facilita
arising from the emergency.
la
And
perpetración
in this
del
case,
lugar
that's
por la
not present. So
emergencia.
there's nothing
En este
about
lugar
this state of
no se
emergency that we're
aplican.
currently under that
No hay nada de
facilitated
este
this
estado de
burglary.
emergencia que
So
facilitó este
no power
escalamiento.
outages,
No se fue la
no
luz,
reduction in
la electricidad,
law enforcement, nothing like that
nada de
is
eso de
present here.
obstrucción de
And so
agentes
that
del orden público,
aggravator
nada de
is
eso
inappropriate. And
pasó.
further, I would argue
Así que
that
ese
this is an
agravante no
attempt
sucedió.
based on the probable cause affidavit.
Esto es todo basado en el affidavit de causa probable.
Okay, before we continue, Mr. Romero,
Antes de continuar, señor Romero,
I'm being advised by confinement status.
del estado de confinados dice
There will be 3 add charges
que se le van a añadir 3 cargos
following
más
today's hearing.
después de la audiencia de hoy.
All right, Mr. Linder, I'll hear your response
Señor
now.
Linder, la respuesta.
Mr. Miller and I discussed this before court.
El señor Miller y yo hablamos de esto anteriormente.
I am in agreement. There is
Yo estoy de acuerdo.
probable cause on count 1 for attempted burglary of a dwelling.
Hay caso probable en el cargo 1 de la vivienda, escalamiento.
And it's already mentioned in the comment section on charge 4, attempted robbery.
Y ya la tentativa de robo se comenta acerca del cargo número 4
So
en los comentarios.
You're in agreement as to the argument regarding the state of emergency?
¿Está de acuerdo con el estado de emergencia? Sí.
All right, on my finding sheet, I will remove the state of emergency
En mi
aggravator.
hoja voy a eliminar el estado de emergencia
And I'm making the correction to indicate that it is an attempted burglary.
y voy a hacer la corrección para indicar que es una tentativa de escalamiento.
Is there anything further before we
¿Algo más?
continue? All right, let's go to recommendations.
Recomendaciones.
thank you, Your Honor.
Gracias.
I've been in contact with Detective
Estuve en contacto con el detective
Carrasa
Carras-
regarding Mr. Paniagua.
con respecto al señor Paniagua
He authored the second probable cause affidavit.
y él fue el autor del segundo affidavit de caso probable.
This is clearly ongoing criminal behavior in this area of Hollywood.
Claramente esto es un negocio que tiene seguimiento de actos delictivos en esta área de Hollywood.
He advised me there would be additional ad charges
Y él
coming
también me indicó que van a haber cargos adicionales
for similar type offenses.
para ofensas parecidas.
And Detective Cross says he's off today, but he's going to be getting additional victim statements for other charges on Monday.
Él está libre, pero va a conseguir más declaraciones de las víctimas para el lunes.
I've been advised that the residents of these homes are in fear.
Me han dicho que los residentes de estas casas o estas viviendas tienen miedo.
In particular, I would note the alleged victim of the first burglary,
Particularmente la víctima de el primer escalamiento,
whose 11-year-old daughter was present in the home
de que su hija de 11 años estuvo presente durante el hecho,
when Mr. Paniagua tried to break into the home.
cuando el señor Paniagua intentó entrar al hogar.
I'm going to be requesting bonds in the amount of $15,000 on count 1,
Voy a pedir una fianza de 15,000 pesos en el cargo 1,
$5,000 on count 4,
5,000 pesos en el segundo cargo,
$15,000 on count 5,
$15,000 en el cargo 5,
pretrial release with a GPS monitor,
libertad con supervisión previa a juicio con un monitor electrónico
no victim contact, no return.
y no puede tener contacto con la víctima ni regresar al lugar de los hechos.
Nothing further. Judge.
Nada más.
All right, Mr. Romero, we'll go to you.
Señor
One
Romero.
moment, Judge. Judge, at this time, not providing defense.
No vamos a presentar defensa en este momento.
All right, very well.
Muy bien.
The bond on count 1 will be set at $15,000.
La fianza en el cargo 1 será $15,000
The bond on count 4
y
will
la,
be set at $5,000.
y la fianza en el cargo número 4 se fijará en $5,000
And the bond on count 5 will also be set at $15,000.
y la fianza en el cargo 5 también se fijará en $15,000.
If Mr. Paniagua does post the monetary bond,
Y si el señor Paniagua puede pagar esta fianza,
he will be placed on a level 2 GPS monitor with pretrial
se
supervision.
va a ubicar con un monitor electrónico, con supervisión, con los servicios previo a juicio.
There will also be an order of no return
Y
to
también-
each of the residence locations at issue.
Y también habrá una orden de que no podrá regresar a los lugares, los hogares de los hechos anteriores mencionados.
There will also be an order of no victim contact.
También habrá una orden de no tener contacto con las víctimas.
Mr. Paniagua, these orders mean you are not to go to the residence locations at
Señor
issue in this
Paniagua,
case.
esto significa que usted no podrá regresar ni ir por el área, la zona de las viviendas indicadas en el caso.
And whether you know the alleged victims or not,
Y aunque usted conozca las alegadas víctimas o no,
The no contact order means no being in the same place at the same time as these people.
La orden de no contacto quiere decir que no puede estar en el mismo lugar a la misma hora que estén las víctimas.
That includes no phone calls or text messages to them.
Incluye que no puede haber llamadas telefónicas a ellos ni enviarle mensajes de textos a ellos.
And no third-party contact or social media contact with
Y
these
no puede haber
people.
contacto tampoco por medio de una tercera persona ni por medios sociales tampoco.
Do you understand that, sir?
Señor, ¿usted comprende esto?
Sí, sí.
Yes.
Thank you.
Gracias.
All right. Are there any other cases at Maine that require a Spanish interpreter?
No, Judge.
All right. Is there anyone at Paul Ryan Conti or North Broward that requires a Spanish interpreter? Okay, Ms. Bryan, thank you. All right, so let's continue on. Next up will be Jessica Simmons.
Bonded.
All right. Earl Kellia Bullard.
She's here, present judge at Maine.
Okay. All right, good afternoon, Ms. Bullard.
Good afternoon.
You're before the court this afternoon on 2 charges. Count 1 is grand theft auto. Count 2 is possessing a counterfeit or falsely made credit card. I find probable cause, and I will hear from the parties.
Judge, I'm going to be requesting the court consider releasing Ms. Bullard on pre-trial release. Now, she's 24 years old, been here her whole entire life. She's working right now 2 jobs. She has been employed with Dee Dee's Discount for approximately 1 year. She works full-time, making approximately $9 an hour. Besides that, she's also working at Subway, where she's been there about 6 months, making approximately $9 an hour. She lives in Overtown in her own apartment where she's been renting out for the past 6 months. Her monthly rent is approximately $626. She has very strong ties to the community. She has family that lives in Dade, specifically her father. But right now, money is tight and he cannot afford to post his monetary bond. Which I'm asking if the court would consider releasing Ms. Bullard under supervision. She will come back and face these allegations.
There's a pending battery in Dade County. Filed in January. All right.
Judge, I didn't hear what was said.
She has a pending battery case in Dade that was filed in January. Go ahead, Mr. Linder.
Judge, I believe, and Ms. Bullard did advise me of that case. To her knowledge, she thought it was dropped.
Your Honor, it looks like, was this a 2019 case, Patrice? Okay. It looks like it was null prost February 12th of this year in Dade County. I don't, in light of that, I don't have an objection to a pretrial judge.
Okay. All right, so counts 1 and 2 will each be an ROR. So that Ms. Bullard may be released to standard pretrial supervision. Ms. Bullard, Mr. Romero's giving you a piece of paper there. Please make sure that you read it after the hearing is done. I need you to understand that though you're going to be released today, which is Friday, you must report to pretrial supervision by Monday in person. If you fail to report to them as you've been instructed, a warrant will be issued for your arrest. Do you understand?
Ma'am.
All right. Thank you very much. Good luck. Brian Miller.
He's approaching, Judge.
Thank you. All right. Good afternoon, Mr. Miller.
Hello.
Mr. Miller, you're before the court this afternoon on a felony out-of-state hold. This is a no bond hold out of the state of Kentucky. I find probable cause. And Mr. Miller, since this is an out-of-state hold, you'll be going before the extradition judge probably on Tuesday so that you can address how that matter is going to be handled. Good luck to you, sir. All right, next will be Damon Remmer.
Mr. Remmer?
Is his attorney coming back on this?
As far as
I believe it was Clark Strando.
Your Honor, I spoke with Mr. Moldov,
Yes.
who's representing Mr. Reamer.
Yes.
We've agreed to a $100 bond on each count.
Okay.
An additional release condition that Mr. Reamer is not to be in possession of any devices with video recording capability until further order of the court. Just so the court's aware, Mr. Moldov has filed the motion to modify bond that's set to be heard on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I also spoke with the prosecutor in that case. Ultimately, whether he is able to get out of custody or not is going to depend on what happens on those charges.
Okay.
Not really on these, so.
Okay.
But also, so Mr. Reamer's aware, Mr. Moldov has no issue with the court setting $100 bonds on each count, so he'll continue to get gain time on all counts.
Okay, so even the ones that don't have a bond attached right
100
now?
on each count.
Okay, all right. Okay, so Mr. Raymer, based on the agreement between your attorney and the state attorney here, I'm going to place the bond on each of these additional counts at $100.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and there will be an added condition that you possess no devices with video recording capabilities until further order of the court. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Baker, come on up.
All right. Good afternoon, Mr. Baker.
Good afternoon.
Judge, can we see if his bond's been posted?
Let's see. We'll check with confinement. Okay.
And Your Honor, just while that's being looked into,
No.
and I was gonna say, if Mr. Baker is interested, there is an offer, a documented offer. It'd be a withholding court cost on all counts.
Let me relay it to him. Thank you. He wishes to accept the state's offer, Judge.
Okay. All right. So just for the record, since I have you here, Mr. Baker, you're here on 3 misdemeanor capiases that are related to charges for operating without a valid license, failure to register a vehicle, and having an unlawful license tag or sticker. I find probable cause. And Mr. Baker, you wish to accept the state's offer of a withhold of adjudication and court costs?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Will you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Now you can put your hand down. And Mr. Baker, do you understand everything that's been discussed here this afternoon?
Yes, ma'am.
Is anyone forcing you to resolve this case?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
No, ma'am.
Do you need any more time to speak with your attorney?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that you have the right to trial, but you are waiving that right by taking a plea today?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you ever been treated for mental or emotional illness?
No, ma'am.
And do you understand that if you are not a U.S. citizen, taking a plea today will subject you to deportation or other immigration changes?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And Mr. Baker, what plea do you wish to enter? Guilty or no contest?
No contest.
All right. I accept your plea and find that it is freely and voluntarily given. Once again, your sentence as to all 3 counts will be a withhold of adjudication plus court costs. Good luck to you, sir. Angelo Zorzes,
Please approach Judge Maine.
his bond was posted. He bonded.
Beautiful.
All right.
Bond's posted.
Thank you. Louis Nolasco.
Bonded.
Okay. Morris Cargill.
Mr. Cargill is here present, Maine, Judge. Come on up, Mr. Cargill. And he declined the services of the public defender, Judge.
Okay.
You posted count 1.
Good afternoon, Mr. Cargill. Mr. Cargill, do you understand that you are entitled to have an attorney represent you for this hearing this afternoon?
Yeah.
And are you declining the services of the public defender?
Do I have to use him when it's time for trial or something like that?
No, if you want to have them represent you today and then hire someone else later, then you have the option to do that.
All right.
So you want to have them
Okay.
represent you today?
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Romero, do you need some additional time to speak with him?
Judge.
Okay.
Everything.
All right, I'll call you back up in a few minutes, Mr. Cargill. Pete Peterman.
He's here present, Judge.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mr. Peterman. All right, Mr. Peterman, you're before the court this afternoon on 13 counts. Count 1 is burglary of an unoccupied conveyance unarmed. Count 2, second-degree petty theft. Count 3 is criminal mischief. Counts 4 through 13 are felony capiases, which each have no bond holds and are not for magistrate. I find probable cause, and I will hear the party's recommendations on count 1.
In light of the other charges, Your Honor, requesting a $5,000 bond on count 1.
Judge, I did talk to Mr. Peterman, and I did advise him as far as, unfortunately, the court's hands are tied in reference to counts 4 through 13. However, Judge, on count 1, it is a third-degree felony. Mr. Peterman, he's been incarcerated for some time, hasn't been working. I'm going to be asking on a third-degree felony if the court would consider a $1,000 bond on his behalf, Judge.
All right, I'll set the bond on count 1 at $2,000.
Your Honor,
Yes.
Can I speak real quick?
As long as it's not about the facts of the case,
It's not
Mr.
about-
Peterman.
It's not about the case. Is there any way, I know it may be asking for a lot, is there any way you can let Judge Weeks know that they can try to put me on the docket? Because those failure to appear from 4 to 13,
Yes.
I supposed to been in court on January 9th, 2020. I was incarcerated in Greene County Jail all the way up until yesterday. I got arrested December 16th. I was expedited down here. I've been fighting this case for 2 years, ma'am. I never, ever in my life had a failure to appear. The only reason why I wasn't here on January 9th is because I was in Greene County, Ohio.
Okay, so hold on. Okay, let me just ask, is there a court date set in front of Judge Weeks? Can anyone tell me?
Please, ma'am.
I'm checking to see, hold on, Mr. Peterman, I'm just looking to see if there's a hearing. Usually when you have a no bond hold, you'll get in front of your judge pretty quickly.
I got all my proper paperwork, show everything that I've never been out of custody.
All right, just hang on.
No, not at this time.
Okay, so Mr. Peterman, a date has not been set as we're sitting here today, but know that with these no bond holds, you will probably be seeing her very soon, and you can explain all of that to her, and she'll decide how she wants to do it, all right?
All right, thank you,
All
Your
right,
Honor.
thank you. Good luck. Trevoris Johnson.
Mr. Johnson, come on up. He's approaching, Judge.
Thank you.
How you doing, Mel?
All right, I'm well. Thank you, Mr. Johnson. All right, Mr. Johnson, you are here this afternoon on 2 counts. Count 1 is aggravated assault with a deadly weapon without intent to kill. Count 2 is battery causing bodily harm. I find probable cause, and I will hear from the parties. Okay.
Your Honor, the state's going to be requesting a, $25,000 bond on count 1. GPS monitor, no victim contact, no possession of any firearms, weapons, ammunition. At the time of this incident, and I understand it was in late October 2019, Mr. Johnson was out on bond for trafficking in substituted cathinones. He was out on a $50,000 bond on that case. And a second felony case, possession of substituted cathinones. The state actually filed a motion to revoke bond yesterday. Also, Your Honor, it shows that a countercall was held, but then it also shows countercall not held, capious, on the trafficking case yesterday, Your Honor. So he has other priors, but that's prior burg dwelling he went to prison on, possession of cocaine, possession of PVP, but obviously the open cases and now this case, a felony level offense involving violence are the most significant and serious.
Judge, and speaking of Mr. Johnson, I don't think he'll be able to come with the $25,000 bond. Right now he's working at Lauderdale Marine Company. It's a fiberglass-like repair company where he gets paid about $125 a day. He's been here his whole life. He lives here locally in Lauderdale Lakes with his sister. His sister right now has her own kids. She's paying her own bills, supporting her own family, so her financial resources are kind of tied up right now. Judge, considering this was from October 2019, I was going to ask the court to consider a bond around the neighborhood of $2,500 on count 1. And that's what we're asking on Mr. Johnson's behalf.
Mr. Linder, you said that motion to revoke was filed yesterday. Is that with regard to the 2 pending cases you were telling me about?
Yeah, it's based on the motion is based on these new violations.
Okay.
Trees, does he have anything pending out of Palm Beach County? That's okay, I can check it. Nothing further, Judge.
In light of the allegations in this case, and in light of the 2 pending cases which have the pending motion that have been discussed today, I am going to set the bond in this case at $25,000. If Mr. Johnson does post his monetary bond, he will be placed on pretrial supervision with a level 2 GPS monitor. There will also be an order of no victim contact and an order that Mr. Johnson possess no weapons, firearms, or ammunition. Mr. Johnson, so that you understand the no contact order, with respect to the alleged victim in this case, That means no being in the same place at the same time as this person, no phone calls or text messages to that person, and no third-party contact or social media contact with that person. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, Ignacio Munoz.
Mr. Munoz is here present, Judge Amine.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Munoz.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Mr. Munoz, you're before the court this afternoon on 2 charges. Count 1, possession of methamphetamine. Count 2, possession or use of drug paraphernalia. I find probable cause, and I'll hear from the parties.
Judge, we're going to be asking if the court would consider releasing Mr. Munoz on pretrial release. Now, he's 35 years old. He's right now looking for employment. He lives in Boca Raton with his parents. He's not sure if his parents even know he's here. He did advise me he had something a couple years ago, I believe, a DUI offense. So we're asking the court to consider releasing him on pretrial release.
Okay.
That's fine, Judge, with random testing.
All right. Count 1 is going to be an ROR. Mr. Munoz, you will be placed on pretrial supervision, and as a condition of your release, you will be subjected. I'm sorry, what? What's the matter? Right?
And Your Honor, frankly, and I'll give the benefit of the doubt that she couldn't make it here, but frankly, I don't know that this court's in a position to be ordering anyone to inpatient rehab out of this division. If she has that kind of concern, obviously, there's always the option of a Marchman Act that she can seek, so.
That becomes necessary. All right, so thank you for bringing that to my attention. All right, Mr. Munoz, as a condition of your release, you are going to be subjected to random drug and alcohol testing. That means no alcohol and no intoxicants until further order of the court. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Additionally, though you will be released today is Friday, you must report to pretrial supervision in person by Monday. If you do not report to them as I have instructed you, a warrant will be issued for your arrest. Do you understand?
I do understand, Judge.
All right, so Mr. Romero's given you a piece of paper there. Please make sure that you read that and follow the instructions so that you can keep in compliance with the conditions of release. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Jeremy Statham.
He's approaching, Judge.
Thank you. All right, good afternoon, Mr. Statham.
Hello.
All right, Mr. Statham, you're before the court on 3 charges. Count 1, battery on an officer. Count 2, aggravated assault on an officer. And count 3 is resisting an officer or obstructing with violence.
This is another one of those, I don't know where the issue was, but it doesn't appear to be aggravated assault.
I agree, it should not be aggravated. All right, I'm making the correction. All right, I find probable cause. I've made the correction to remove aggravated. I'll hear from the parties.
Your Honor, I'm requesting a $2,000 bond on 1, $500 on 2 and 3. No return to this particular Publix.
Judge, I see that the state's total request is $3,000.
Yes?
I wouldn't have an objection as far as the total amount. I'm just asking, can we break it up a different way? Can we one, 1,000 on 1, 1,000 on 2, 1,000 on 3.
Doesn't really matter to me, Judge.
All
For
right.
bond purposes, it does matter.
Okay, that's fine. I'll grant that request. It'll be $1,000 on each count. And Mr. Statham, there will be a no return order to the Publix location that's at issue in this case, so that means that you're not to go back there. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry, a photo order. I forgot.
That's all right, that's okay. I'll sign the photo order. Okay, let's go over to, hold on, before I go to the hearing docket. Mr. Romero, are you ready on Mr. Cargill's case?
No, I gotta talk to him right now,
Okay,
Judge.
that's all right, that's okay. I'll
Thank
go
you.
to the hearing docket. Okay. On my hearing docket, my last misdemeanor case is Michelle Davis.
That's why I need to scan an email to me.
But she's at North Broward and she has a case on the felony second look docket.
Oh, okay.
And this is actually her first appearance because she has been medically reset since she was arrested, I think on the 9th
Okay.
or something like that.
Good afternoon, Miss Davis.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
All right, so this is her first appearance, okay?
So Your Honor already signed a screening order.
Yes.
And I'm requesting it for the record. Mr. Linder and I both agree that this case cannot be resolved at this time. We're asking that the misdemeanor be transferred to Judge Lerner Wren. At least I'm asking
Well, I
that.
actually the resolved because I told him on the phone, ma'am, that I have
Well,
that
Miss
they had
Davis.
the video.
Okay, hold on one second. One second. Miss Davis, the issue is you have pending felony charges, and so those can't be
But it's
resolved.
not my fault. They have the video.
Miss Davis, hang on, okay? Today's just the bond hearing, so
I don't have
anything.
no money for that.
Okay, well
I
just.
told him on the phone.
All right, well, that can't be addressed here today, okay? Those are things that are gonna have to be addressed later, so just hang tight. Just let me hear from the attorneys, okay? So on the misdemeanor case, he's
On the
requesting it be
misdemeanor, I
transferred to
spoke with-
Lerner Wren.
I spoke with Mr. Miller.
Okay,
I have no reason to object to his request. I'm
That's
fine
fine.
with that, Judge.
all right. And, it doesn't appear since, this was reset.
This,
Are there bonds attached to?
No, this is basically her first appearance and her second look.
Okay, so what are we on counts 1 through 4, 1 through 5?
One moment.
Are there bonds attached to those?
Not yet, because she was being reset to have a bond set and her second look caught up with her first appearance.
Okay,
I'm gonna be requesting 1,000 on each on 1 through 4 and 500 on 5.
whose error was that? It doesn't matter, it's fine. I know whose fault it is.
Thank you, I didn't realize.
Okay. All right, Mr. Miller, anything
Judge.
that you would like to add?
I would like to ask the court to release her to the supervision of pretrial services with the condition that she seek a psychiatric screening and follow any recommended treatment pending verification that she will be residing with her mother.
Okay, and does the state have a response to that request?
Your Honor, there's obviously other issues going on here. You can see in the report that this is not, I have some concerns about stability. I think there's other issues that really need to be addressed before a court can really have confidence about potential mental health issues with Ms. Davis going forward.
All right, so I want to make sure that any issues that may be there are addressed for Ms. Davis's sake. So at this time, the bonds on counts 1 through 4 will be set at $1,000, and the bond on count 5 is going to be set at $500. with respect to the misdemeanor case, I'm going to leave the standard bonds in place, and I will sign an order transferring that to Judge Lerner Wren, so that Ms. Davis will be able to see her division judge within the next few days, so that she can address whatever issues need to be addressed.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Ms. Davis, good luck.
Yes, I was trying to tell my lawyer of him because I like he was racist on the phone because he didn't want to help me.
All right, Ms. Davis.
I was trying to tell him I don't have no money. They got in the video already that you saw.
Okay,
that they
Ms.
grabbed me
Davis,
from
hold
that
on.
thing. I was trying to get time served.
All right,
but
Ms.
he didn't give me a chance to explain. He's a
Okay.
racist person.
Ms. Davis,
And,
please, one moment, okay? Just listen to me for a minute, okay? Just listen.
Yes, he's a very racist
Okay,
lawyer. He
okay,
is.
Ms. Davis, please listen to me.
Yes.
Today is just your bond hearing, so I'm not going to address anything about the facts of the case, and you're not able to get time served because there are felony charges that are pending. I'm signing an order, transferring the
Ain't no
case,
felony charges there,
so you're
ma'am.
going to see your judge within a few days, and you can address it with her then. All right, good luck,
Well,
ma'am.
there's no felony charges there.
There
There's
are,
no
Miss
felony
Davis.
charges.
Yes,
well,
there
you
are.
never named them.
Ms. Davis,
Yeah.
there are 4 charges of battery on a law enforcement officer.
No, it's not. I know it's not. There's
Okay,
no felony
Ms.
on the
Davis,
bond
that's
law.
all for today. Thank you. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Judge, we're ready to proceed on Mr. Morris Cargill whenever the
All right,
court's ready.
I'll be there in one moment. Okay, yes, ma'am.
No problem.
They're the standard bonds. What are the standard bonds? Let me just think. On Ms. Davis's case, can we just confirm, well, on count 5, the bond is 500. And 6 and 7, her bond is $100 on each of those. Okay? And I just need that transfer order. Thank you. Okay, all right, we have Mr. Cargill here. Okay, so Mr. Cargill, I'm gonna read your charges. There are 4 counts. Count 1 is DUI with damage to property or person of another. Count 2, DUI and serious bodily injury to another. Count 3, refusing to submit to a DUI test. Count 4 is driving while license suspended, first offense. Yes. His bond was posted on count 1. Yes, okay. All right, I find probable cause. I do see that his bond was posted on count 1, so right now we need to address recommendations for count 2.
I just need one moment. I mean, Hector, if you want to go ahead, I'm just looking.
I can.
Go
And
ahead.
Mr. Cargill did tell me the person that probably paid it on is his friend that he wanted me to call.
Okay,
His name is Norman. And when I advised him how much he thinks Norman can potentially post, he said at the most, maybe he can come up with $200 at the most. So that's why I'm gonna be requesting a $1,000 bond on count 2. Now, he's 65 years old, Judge. He's been living in our community for what he says 20 or over 30 years. He gets $783 a month. He did advise me he has health problems. He has a mailing address that, to make sure he gets notices, I believe that would be of his friend. But he is homeless. And right now, from what he's advised me, he doesn't think he or knows anybody that could pay much more than that. So that's why he's requesting on count 2 a $1,000 bond.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I would be okay with $1,000 if there's pre-trial with random testing and no driving attached. It does appear from the description here, this was a significant crash. One of I believe the driver in the other vehicle was injured, so I think that total bond with those conditions would be appropriate.
Judge, I just explained to Mr. Cargill the state's concerns and their recommendation. Considering the totality of everything, Mr. Cargill said he would be good with that.
Okay, all right, very good. So then the monetary bond on count 2 will be set at $1,000. And once that bond is posted, Mr. Cargill will be placed on pretrial supervision. His release conditions will include random testing, as well as no driving. Yes. Yes, I'll include them both on pretrial. Okay, so Mr. Cargill, so that you understand, once your bond has been posted, you'll be placed on pretrial supervision, and as I said, your release conditions will include random drug and alcohol testing. That means no alcohol and no intoxicants until further order of the court. And there will be an order that you not be driving any motor vehicle until further order of the court. Do you understand that, sir?
Yeah, and how long will I be on pre-trial?
Until further order of the court. So while the case is pending or until your division judge says otherwise. Okay? All right. Good luck to you, sir. Okay, so let's return to our felony hearing docket. Andrew DeJulio. This is a 30-day motion.
North Broward, Judge, it was not filed as of around noon.
All
It
right.
has been filed.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. DeJulio.
Good afternoon.
All right, Mr. Linder, you said the charge has been filed?
One moment, Judge. It has been filed and it now is reflected in Odyssey.
Okay, so Mr. DeJulio, the state filed the charge formally this afternoon. That means your next step will be to go before your division judge for an arraignment hearing. And since that was just filed today, there's likely not a date yet for your arraignment hearing, but that will be set shortly so that you'll know when you're going to see your division judge.
So what? I thought they were supposed to file within 30 days, though.
That's what today is, sir.
Today's my 33rd day.
All right, they have up until today. So they filed the motion today, so I'm denying the motion. And you're going to be seeing your division judge for an arraignment hearing. Thank you. Latavius Gaines.
Conti, Your Honor, and it was not filed as of around noon today.
All right, let's see, Mr. Linder.
Your Honor, it appears the state is going to be declining these charges so he can be ROR'd.
Okay.
Now it would appear he'll just have to wait to have a GPS monitor put on him for his other charges.
Okay, so Mr. Gaines, based on what Mr. Linder has told me, since the charge has not been filed on this charge, you are legally entitled to an ROR today. So that means that if you have other charges that are holding you, what I'm being told is that pretrial will come to fit you with a GPS on those, and then you'll be released. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Hey, ma'am.
Yes.
Is okay. Never mind.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Gaines. Dama Martinez.
All right, Your Honor.
Paul Rye?
Okay. All right, Ms. Martinez, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You are here on a second look hearing, and your bond is currently set at $1,000. Mr. Miller, I'll go to you first.
Judge, I did not get a chance to speak to Ms. Martinez, although I do recall that her advising me that she doesn't have the ability to bond, to post the $1,000 bond in this case.
Okay.
And apparently no one is interested in posting it for her. Would the court reconsider pretrial release for her?
The issue the court had is that Ms. Martinez has an open felony case, possession of firearm or ammunition by a convicted felon.
That's the issue. That's the issue. So
I go to court every single time every time I have a court date, I very much go to court.
okay, Ms. Martinez, I remember this though. Here's the thing: when you're out on bond in a pending case and you pick up a new arrest like this, the court has the ability to revoke your bond in that case and hold you no bond. But I'm not doing that to you today, and I didn't do that at your first appearance hearing. Instead, I'm leaving the $1,000 standard bond in place. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so I understand what Mr. Miller has said to me today, but based on our discussion at your last hearing, I'm not going to take any action with respect to the bond that you've already posted, and I'm going to leave the standard bond on this one, all right? All right.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Good luck, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, Tracy Bowles.
Mr. Bowles is at North Broward, Judge.
Okay. All right, good afternoon, Mr. Bowles.
Yeah, no, I ain't doing that.
I'm well, thank you. All right, so Mr. Bowles is here on a second look, and his bond is currently set at, looks like a total of $1,800. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. All right. Mr. Miller, you want to talk to me?
So I did speak with Mr. Bowles earlier this afternoon. He is unable to post the bond as set. He is a lifetime resident of South Florida. He has been homeless off and on for the past 5 years. He believes that he can reside with his mother, and he also believes that he can support an ankle monitor residing with his mother.
So pre-trial with a GPS, is what you're telling me?
If it's with a GPS, Your Honor, I wouldn't have an objection.
All right. So Mr. Bowles, you think you're going to be able to reside at your mother's residence?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, well, I will allow you to be released to pretrial supervision as long as it's with a GPS monitor. You understand that?
Okay.
Okay, and I will make it a level 2.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, so Mr. Bowles will be going on pretrial supervision with a level 2 GPS. All right, Mr. Bowles, someone from pretrial will come to fit you for the GPS monitor, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, is that everyone on our docket?
Should just about cover it, Judge.
All right, I think that's it. Okay, that brings us to the end of our first appearance docket for Friday. I will see everyone back here on Monday.
Just let